Alright, so this is going to be my review of Hawkeye Volume 2, Little Hits. Now, Hawkeye, as I said before, is probably one of my favorite books I've read out of Marvel for a while now. Not to say Marvel's been doing bad, I've been loving a lot of the stuff that's been coming out of Marvel now. I just haven't been able to read a lot of it, but what I have read is really good, if that makes any sense. And this is probably one of the best damn things I've ever read, period. Not just out of Marvel, but yeah, like I said in the first one. But anyway, Hawkeye Volume 2 is something amazing, I gotta say. It is really good. This pretty much collects issues 6 through 11, and it's really good. Now, at first, it's actually kind of funny because they actually switch around issues 6 and 7 and put them in different orders. 7 comes before 6, and at first I thought it was weird, but then I remembered they're going by the dates, because apparently issue 7 is in the month before, and the rest of the story arc takes place in December, apparently. And yeah, I really like it. The first story is pretty much the story about Hurricane. It actually deals with a real-life situation. Hurricane Sandy, or whatever thing they called Sandy, hitting New York, when it hit New York, and what Hawkeye and Kate Bishop were doing. And it pretty much has two different artists for the two different stories. It is a really good story. Pretty much has Clint being a friend to a guy he only knows his grills, helping him take care of the guy's dad, who he hasn't talked to. And it's really a good bonding story. The other one is pretty much follows Kate at a wedding that totally messes up, and her trying to get medicine for some people, and it's her in New Jersey, and they make fun of New Jersey a lot. And it's not tasteless, it's more like in good humor New Jersey fun. But anyway, the rest of the story is more or less about Clint being involved with this woman who was married to who was married in this group called the Tracksuits, and she was married, and she not only divorced, but she straight up killed this guy's ass. But the problem is that he was the son of the leader of the Russian mob, aka the Tracksuits mafia gang, and they're really pissed. Not only because they've stolen their building, this is kind of the last straw for them, and they want Clint Barton dead, especially after he gets pretty much fired from the Avengers after what he does. The artist is pretty much switches around a lot. I know David Aja does a lot of the artwork, but there are parts in here that are not done by Aja in these issues. I can't remember the other people's names, but one of them sticks out is Francis Francavilla, who does the intro issue for the character of the Clown, who at first, when they announced this character called the Clown, I was really like, really? That's what we're calling him, the Clown? He looks like a Joker ripoff. I was literally thinking like one of those geeks are like, yeah. But when they tell the story, Kate is talking to the Clown, and we find out his backstory and what he is. He's nothing like Joker. He's actually kind of terrifying in that Norman Bates kind of way. He's not like Norman Bates, I take that back. He's more like he's kind of scary in the sense of like Hannibal Lecter. He's not like in cannibal sense, although he could easily become a cannibal later on in the series, I don't know. But he very has that manipulative kind of sense and very slow tone, like, yeah, I know what I'm capable of, and I'm gonna kill your ass. And he kills somebody very close to Hawkeye. Unfortunately, this kind of gets spoiled. That whole story with the Clown gets spoiled, and I don't mean it in a bad way. And here, it's just a minor problem I want to talk about. The following issue, after like pretty much a borderline horror story with the introduction of the Clown, we pretty much get this story about Clint's dog, Clint's new dog, and it's pretty much the dog playing detective. And here's the thing with a lot of the Hawkeye issues, is that they have one story and they play one side and give you the rest later on, which I find really interesting. In here, when they did the story with the dog detective, that's what I'm calling it, it pretty much kind of takes away a little bit of what I liked about how they did the horror element of it, because it played with some, I mean, it was cool, don't get me wrong. The problem was that it felt like just an instant comedy to horror thing, and that felt a little too fast for me. I mean, obviously, when they do when they bring out the next volume, and when I read that, it's going to make a lot more sense. But it just felt like, wow, we're going straight from horror to comedy. Okay. Another thing I want to bring up is that, and in the middle of the issues, is that we have Hawkeye actually encountering. He's actually in an issue with where he makes out with the girl in the Avengers Tower right in front of Mockingbird, Black Widow, and Spider-Woman. Two of which one he was married to, one he was in a relationship with, and the one he's currently in a relationship. And it's hilarity, and it's kind of depressing because Clint Barton really does suck at what he does. And that's women. Anyway, like I said before, and I mean this in a good way, once again, like I said in the first volume, is that this doesn't feel like your regular, normal Marvel comic. This really feels like something that you'd see out of Image or, Top Cow or something. You wouldn't expect something like this at Marvel. It just has such a unique feel to it, and I absolutely love it, I love how it's a very character-esque story. And it's pretty much Hawkeye being, not really Hawkeye, just being Clint Barton. Really showing that his life sucks, for the most part. Kate is such a great character. She's awesome in everything she's in this volume. I liked her in the first volume, and here I absolutely loved her in here. I just really can't wait, especially with the ending of the volume. That was really interesting. But all in all, once again, if you haven't read Hawkeye, I strongly suggest to go pick it up. It is a really good series. I absolutely dug the hell out of this volume, and I can't wait to read more. I'm definitely going to try to pick up more of this in trade, and yeah, I strongly suggest, if you haven't been reading Hawkeye, I really suggest you go out and check it out for yourselves. But anyway, guys, once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.